Hello, it's Tracy Dix here from Wyrd Learning, and today I am on day 51 of my conversion card challenge, featuring James Wedmore's powerful language patterns that convert. So, today I've got third-party advice. Years ago, I had a mentor tell me something that changed my life. He said, sometimes the best way to get a message across is to be less direct. Okay, that's third-party advice. When you have a message to share, try sharing it in quotes coming from the person who gave you this advice. This is a powerful way to be more subtle in your communication, but still lend the message. Formula. The best advice I ever got was, add message here. Example in action. I'll never forget the first piece of business advice my father gave me. He said, always pay your people, no matter what. So the best way to apply this card today to essay writing is to consider how we may deal with our sources, whether it's primary or secondary sources, in this manner as kind of third-party advice. So it's a third party's opinion, or someone's research on an area of work that's related to what you're currently working on. So I think in terms of today's third-party advice, it's most useful to think about how primary and secondary sources are used in essay writing. So the idea with today's card is about kind of lending authority to your opinion and what you're trying to assert by citing or calling upon the authority of a third party. And I would say that this is highly relevant in terms of when you're using primary or secondary sources in essay writing. This can be used in different ways. So for example, when you're writing your introduction, you'd want to talk about how does the research field currently look in terms of the topic that you're working on. You'll probably notice, having gone through a range of sources, that there'll be groups of scholars who kind of say one thing about a topic, another group who kind of say something else, and perhaps there'll be a few more nuances in between as well, where people sort of agree a little bit with each other, but like not in other aspects. So that's the kind of foundation of your argument that you want to set up in your introduction. So what are the basics of this topic? What have scholars proven and what they're saying about it? And then how do you hope to build upon that work in the body of your essay? And how are you going to develop those arguments? I have mentioned before in previous videos that while it's fine to cite this kind of third-party advice or primary and secondary sources as a way of substantiating your argument, it's also really beneficial if you can evaluate the suitability of those sources to your work. So two questions to think about are, how does what a specific author is saying fill a gap in your current knowledge? And how does it help to answer questions that you have as you're exploring your topic? Okay, I hope this is helpful, and do ask if you would like me to kind of explain anything in more detail that I've touched on in any of our videos. We'd really love to hear from you. And again, don't forget to subscribe if you're finding all this helpful. See you again tomorrow for day 52.